If you've already launched your clothing brand, maybe you've posted a few times, but still have no idea on how to get customers, this video is for you. Everybody always talks about going viral or running Facebook ads, but what about the people that are actually starting at zero, like true zero, brand new fresh social media page, or maybe you got 100 followers on your personal page or whatever, and you don't have a multi-$1,000 budget to just start running Facebook ads and spamming the industry, right? This video is exactly for you. This is who I'm going to be talking to, right? And I've helped dozens, if not hundreds, maybe even thousands of people hit their first 100 customers without a single dollar spent on ads or without ever going viral on social media. And today, I'm here to break it down exactly to you step by step. And in one of my previous videos, I talk about how to do it without going viral. So if that's what you're into, go ahead and check that out. But the first step that we're going to be going over, also just a little preemptive thing. This is going to be probably a 10 to 15 minute video, and I'm just going to be here blabbing to the camera. There's going to be no edits, there's going to be no cuts, no fancy stuff. So if your little TikTok brain can't sit here and focus in for 10 to 15 minutes or so, go ahead, skip through. I wish you the best of luck, but I don't think that this is the right video for you. But if you're still listening to this and you haven't skipped through, you can probably get a lot of value out of this. So the step one that we're actually going to be going over is understanding what you're actually selling. See, a lot of people start a hat brand, a t-shirt brand, a hoodie brand, whatever it may be, and they think that they're actually selling hats, t-shirts, or hoodies. No. See, that's the first misconception about this whole entire game, this whole entire industry. Because in reality, you're not selling the hat, you're not selling the hoodie, you're not selling the t-shirt. That might be the actual product that's getting shipped and that you're getting dollars for. But what you're actually selling is a sense of identity, right? And so what do I mean by that, right? People buy from brands, likely you, right? Me, like look into your closet, right? The first time that you found a cool brand or you found a really cool product that spoke to you or something like that, it wasn't just, oh, I really like this brand. No. You really liked the way that the brand or the design or the product made you feel, right? It gave you some level or some sense of identity that you could attach yourself to and that you were attracted to, and that was the lever that actually made you purchase, right? So a lot of times people are purchasing into a sense of belonging, right? Maybe it helps make you feel confident wearing that piece. Maybe it's a nostalgic thing that you're getting tied to. Maybe it's a rebellion thing, right? Whatever it is, it's giving you a sense of identity, right? And you're attaching yourself to that identity. And that's the important part. Right, when you're first starting your brand, it's not so much, oh, this is the coolest design ever, look at this thing, look what I'm building, yada, yada, yada. No. It is, look at this, there's a sense of belonging, there's a community, this is attracting the right customer, this is making them feel X, Y, and Z, right? Insert however you want your brand or your product to make your consumers feel there, right? So that's what I mean by identity. Right, it's the actual way that your products and your brands make somebody feel. And it's the whole entire way through, from the Instagram post, to the design on the product, to the actual product itself, to the website, to the checkout process, to the whole entire way that you communicate the lifespan of that customer, right? That is what you're focused on. That's the identity. So before you do anything, right, you need to ask, why would somebody care? What does wearing this product or using this product say about them, right? That is your foundation. That's what you got to hone in on. That's what you have to focus in on. And that is where you start this whole entire process. If you just think, oh, I've made the coolest t-shirt design, but it has no substance behind it, it's going to be very hard to actually grow this thing without going viral or without paid ads. Sometimes that works for some people, right? You can make a really cool piece, have a lot of functionality to it, all this sort of stuff, make a really cool ad campaign, and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of ads and sell millions of dollars worth of products. That works, right? But this is for somebody that is starting literally at zero. You don't have money to go run an ad campaign. You don't have a large following that's going to consume and purchase everything that you're selling and preaching, and your story views might only get 100 views per story, right? So it's going to have a small, limited reach. So how do we do this? Step one, focus in on that identity. Once you've got your identity block kind of figured out and locked in, the second thing is to use your inner circle, but to do it right. Now, what do I mean by inner circle? And I need to be careful about that wording, right? A lot of people today are using that word almost as kind of like a buzzword, right? Join my inner circle, be a part of my inner circle today. That's not what I'm saying. I mean the real tangible inner circle, right? Your friends, your coworkers, your classmates, their friends, your family members, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your nieces, your nephews, all of them, right? Those people are your inner circle. And then there's the inner circle once removed, which would be all of those people's best friends, cousins, nieces, nephews, etc., etc. And that is the real target jump, right? So you have to start with using and utilizing your direct inner circle, your direct family, friends, relationships, right? Your first 100 customers will almost always come from your immediate circle. Friends, family, coworkers, then their friends, right? And that's where we're really trying to get this thing to. So the mistake, though, that I see a lot of people make is they just post once or twice and hope that people buy. Now, look, I don't know about you. I don't know how you guys' social media algorithms and stuff like that are set up. But it's not very often that I just see a bunch of my friends' posts all day, every day, right? Whenever I use social media, I'm getting a lot of like news stuff. I'm getting a lot of like general fashion stuff, in like sports, things that I'm into, right? I see a lot more than that than I see my friend Elliot talking about, his relationship or what's going on in his life, especially if you're using like Instagram or TikTok. You're going to see a lot more of that. Maybe Facebook might be different. I don't really use Facebook. But, for the most part, Instagram, TikTok, they're going to show you things that your algorithm has kind of trained you to like. And odds are you like things that are outside of your friend group and you're going to get shown that stuff more. So it is actually being consistent with a rollout, right? Not 1 or 2 posts, but I'm talking 6, 9, 12, 18 total posts announcing your rollout, right? Announcing your project, your products. And this should actually be done in a semi-professional way. In the last video, I also talked a little bit about how you can use AI and stuff like that to take product photography and do all that sort of stuff and actually help you make a professional, clean looking rollout. This is the actual utilization of that, right? Getting your inner circle to actually see this sort of stuff so that way they know that you're selling it. And then you have to take it to the next level. Taking it to the next level is you have to actually personally connect, DM, text, phone call, have face-to-face conversations with all of these people, letting them know about your product, right? And it's not making a direct ask every time to them, right? But you can also phrase it in ways that you're just looking for feedback. Imagine you've got a cousin named Tommy or whatever. Hey, Tommy, you're always wearing this hat all the time, man. I see that you like this hat. I've made a hat that I think is better, and it kind of has the same sort of swag or same sort of style. You want to check it out? Could I get your feedback on it? Show him the hat. If Tommy says, hey man, I actually really like that hat. That's a cool hat, man. You say, great, Tommy. I've got 36 of these left. Are you interested in picking one up? I can drop it off to you today or next week whenever I see. I can reserve it for you. Does that work? If the answer is yes, say, great, right? And be ready to accept and take the money in all forms. Hey man, I've got cash. Take the cash, right? Hey man, you accept card, right? If they say yes, go ahead and get them a checkout link on your Shopify. Text them that checkout link. Say, yeah, man, no problem. Just go ahead and fill it out here. Use this code for free shipping because I'm going to be dropping it off to you and I don't want you to have to pay shipping on this thing, right? Whatever it may be, right? But you actually have to go to them, make the tangible ask for it, right? And you can mask it in the sense of I'm looking for feedback on it, right? But take their feedback to heart. And if they say they don't like it, don't try to sell it to them then, right? If they say they don't like it, they're probably, that identity piece, the first thing that we're touching on, is what's probably lacking. It doesn't call out to them, but there's somebody there that it will call out to, okay? And take their feedback and say, okay, I understand you don't like it. What is it that you don't like? Is it the design? Is it the product? Is it the quality? Does it not speak to you? Yada, 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 right? And take that feedback. And if it's somebody that you value and somebody that you think is actually your ideal target avatar, target customer, then maybe it means something to you. But if it's, if you're trying to sell it to a skateboarder and you're talking to a math whiz that's never stepped on a skateboard a day in his life, odds are the feedback doesn't mean anything to you, right? So also be careful and understand that, right? So you want to make these things personal, not just transactional, right? And that's how you build your first kind of real fan base. And you want to also, step away from just using your direct inner circle and immediate friends and family and hope that it lands to their friends and family. And that's how you can really start getting the ball rolling, getting your first 100 customers and your 100 true fans on this thing, right? That's the whole goal. How do I get it just one step removed from the friends and family and actually to their people that I might have less of a degree of knowing, right? There's a degree of separation between me and them, right? And those people purchasing it are going to mean a lot more than your brother or your sister or your cousin, whatever it may be, right? The third thing that we're going to touch on is build social proof early. So nobody wants to be the first person to buy from a brand that they've never heard of, right? Unless you already have a super fan of yours, right? Just loves you as a person, so on and so forth. But the common person, they're never going to want to be the first customer. They never want to be order 00001 on Shopify unless, it's a super special person. So your job is to show them actual proof of life of your brand, right? Do this by getting 3 to 5 photos of real, different people wearing your product. Ask your friends to model them. Ask the cool guy in town or girl in town or whatever to model them, right? Tell them you'll give them the t-shirt for free, the hoodie for free, or whatever it is, right? See if they can spare 30 minutes of their time. You're gonna come to them with a camera. Maybe just use your phone or whatever, right? Take photos of them around your town, around the actual habitat of wherever your community is, right? And show that it is a real thing, And hell, you might even need to be able to have a handful of extra products to be able to give out for free to some more people that are going to wear this thing around and talk about it and be your biggest cheerleader. Because nothing is going to sell the brand more than somebody that loves your brand just as much as you do and is excited for you and wants to tell all of their friends about it, right? And then you're gonna need to post those photos everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, your website. Once somebody buys it, right? Show them what it looks like on body. Hey, you just purchased this t-shirt. I just want to show you this person who's a similar body size to you or whatever it may be. This is them rocking their t-shirt. Check out how they styled it, right? Use those pieces as UGC, proof of social, as social proof of life, all that sort of stuff. And then when people start seeing your brand actually being worn by people in public, it starts to flip a little switch in their head. Oh, this is legit. This is real. This is something tangible. This is not something that just stuck behind a screen. This is something that is very real. This could be for me. If Tommy really likes it, I like a lot of things that Tommy like, I'm sure I'll like it too. Let me check it out, right? That's the thought process that's actually going on behind a lot of the consumers' brand ideas and purchasing ideas. The fourth thing that we're going to touch on is tell stories, not sales pitches, right? You're not in the business of software. You're not doing B2B business or anything like that right now, right? You're doing direct to consumer, right? D2C. So a consumer doesn't want to have a giant sales pitch laid out to them, right? They want to buy because why? That very first thing that we touched on, what interests them, right? How does it make them feel, right? So that story element is far more important than any sales pitch. You can tell them buy 2 for $60. That doesn't help them out, right? If they're not invested, if they don't have an inherent interest in the brand because it speaks to them as a consumer, 2 for $60 means nothing to them, right? Oh, I'll give you free shipping, right? Anything like that. That doesn't mean anything to them if they're not interested in the brand. And to get them interested in the brand, you need to be able to tell them a story, and that story is going to interest them. You need to make them feel something, right? Stop just posting product photos with "shop now" as the caption. It does not work. It will never work until you're already a well-known and established brand, right? If Aloe posts "shop now" 2 for $60, it's going to get tons of orders, but that's because so many people already know and love Aloe. That's why it works for them. But it's not going to work for you, right? And also, an Aloe hat's like $70. So if they did a sale for 2 for $60, oh, you bet your bottom dollar I'm buying 2 of them. I'm buying 4 of them, So instead, you want to tell a story, right? Why you made the brand, what the name means, what inspired the design, what inspired you to get started, right? And transparently, your story needs to be deeper than you know, oh, I started my brand called Hustle, Money, Respect because, you know, life is all about hustling, making money, and wanting people to respect me or respect the game. Yeah, been done, been said. Everybody kind of knows that, right? Okay, what's the deeper meaning? It sounds to me like this is actually low-key just a money grab. You just want me to buy this because you want my money, right? It needs to actually attract something. It needs to actually evoke emotions. And if you can't evoke the emotions out of it, then it's not going to work, right? Every post that you make should give a reason for a person to connect. Connect with you, connect with the brand, go to the website, make a purchase, shoot you a text, shoot you a message. Yo, man, I see what you're doing with your brand. You're thriving. Can't imagine, you know, I remember 6 months ago where you were at and you had just started your first t-shirt, right? It's really cool seeing where this is going, right? That's the sort of stuff that you need to be striving for, wanting for, right? Now, here's a secret. You don't need to sell in every single social media post, right? You just need to remind the people that you actually exist. In today's world, in the social media landscape, right, there's billions of pieces of content getting posted every day or every week or whatever it is. Your one post isn't even a drop in the bucket, right? Like your one post means nothing. You have to remind them day after day after day after day that you exist, that you're here, right? You got to make sure that you're known, you're seen. People in your community, the people that you want to purchase your products, need to know you exist, and they're not going to know that if you just post once, twice, or 3 times a week. Try 3 times a day, and try that for 2 years straight. Now we're getting somewhere, right? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, especially if you don't have $100,000 budget to pour into Instagram ads, right? Especially if you don't have a whole Rolodex of influencers and creators who are going to make you go viral overnight. This is going to take time, right? And you have to have a purpose and a heart and the willingness to actually do this. Otherwise, you're just going to burn out, right? The people who connect with your story will become your first real buyers and the first real consumers, not the people that you force to buy, right? If you try to guilt trip somebody into buying your product, they're not going to be happy about the product. That's the last thing you want to do. Does that make sense? You know, if you give somebody a whole sob story about how you started this brand and no one's purchasing it, and you get a pity buy, that does nothing for you. That genuinely does nothing for you. Cool, you made $60, whatever it is, right? But you've just left a really bad taste in a person's mouth. You don't want that, especially not with your first 100, even your first 1,000 customers. You need all of them. And you need all of them to continue to be your cheerleader, be your supporter, purchase from you. The 5th thing that we're going to touch on is use organic loops. Now, organic loops are small, repeatable actions that bring new eyes to your brand every single day. No ads required, right? This is going back a little bit to, you know, telling the stories, right? Here's a few that are working right now. Post 3 short form videos a week. If you're starting at 0, this is where you start, right? Just post 3 short forms a week. Even simple talking clips. You green screened behind your design talking about what your design means. You green screened behind a video of production going on talking about what it means for you to step into this space and how you're taking a risk and how it's so important to you and how much you love it and all this sort of stuff and how it's always been your dream, right? Something along those lines, right? You with the little wired microphone or whatever it is talking green screened on TikTok. You know what I'm talking about? You seen those videos? Do that. Post 3 of them a week. Do that for 3 months straight. And if you can amp up the volume of that, all the better. The more, the better. But if you're at 0, truly at 0, that's your starting point. The second is comment on other brand pages. A lot of brand pages that already have their consumers. Now, an aloe probably isn't going to work, but somebody that's already in your market and is a little bit larger than you. So if you're at 0, go for people that are at 30 to 50K and below, right? Anything above that, it's probably not going to work, right? But people that are in your marketplace, that shop with brands like yours, comment on their posts. Make sure that they know that you're around. Make sure that their consumers are seeing you actively. If you always comment on this one brand's post every single day, every single time that they post, whatever it is, right? And make a real supportive comment. Don't just leave like a spam comment like check out my stuff, right? Nobody wants that, right? But make a real comment on a real person's post. Let them know that you exist. Make sure that their consumers who are also leaving comments on that post see your comment as well. So you might need a witty, you might need a good comment. Make sure it's getting likes and it's at the top of the comment feed, so on and so forth. Next thing is if you have customers that are purchasing it, make sure that you get UGC photos of them, right? Whether it's you actually taking the photo of them when you drop it off or whatever it is, or if they're wearing it out and somebody takes a photo of them and you see it on Snapchat or an Instagram story or whatever, right? Respond to them, hey, let me get this photo, let me post it, let me tag you, yada, 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 right? Just show social proof, show life, that your brand exists, that it's real life. The sixth thing that we're gonna touch on is build repeat energy. Once you get your first 20 to 30 customers, I'd say, maybe 25 to 50 customers, whatever, your job is to keep those small group of people excited. Keep them engaged, keep them on their toes, keep them wanting more, keep them coming back. That's your job, right? Make those people your biggest cheerleaders and your biggest fans. Make them talk about it. Make them want to tell their friends about what it is that they're wearing, who it is that they're supporting. Yo, have you seen this dude on social media? Have you seen this brand yet? Hey, you remember Tommy from high school? Check out his brand, right? Keep those people coming back, energized and ready for more. And then follow up with them. Send them thank you emails. If you've got 30 people on your email list and all 30 of those people have purchased before, maybe 15 of those people have purchased before, 15 haven't, whatever it is, email them. Talk to them in email. Make sure that they know that you've got more coming out. Let them know what they can expect by being a part of your email list. That's why you're building the list, right? Give them small updates. Ask them to post photos, so on and so forth. All of that stuff is so overlooked and so important, especially in your early foundational phases. Those customers will turn into your ambassadors. That's your goal. And before you know it, once you've got a little army of 25, 35, 50 different people all running around there, you've got 100 true customers. And those 100 true customers, if you can rinse and repeat that same exact thing to them, make them excited, make them talking about it, make them wanting more, before you know it, you've got a group of 1,000 people and 1,000 customers going out and doing it, right? And that's the difference between a brand that just fades and a brand that actually builds real momentum, right? So a brand that fades is somebody that's doing pity buys. It's not really keeping people engaged. Once they get that $60, it's like, okay, cool, you're dead to me now. Go on about your way, right? Whatever it may be. You know, I hope that you treat them better, but I've seen this done so horribly throughout my years in this industry, right? But those first 100 people really matter. And that's how you turn 100 people to 1,000 people, and then you can turn those same 1,000 people into 10,000 people, so on and so forth. So in closing, right, wrapping all of this up, you don't need ads to get your first 100 customers. You just need connections, storytelling, and consistency. Those are the three things: connection, storytelling, and consistency. If you build a real relationship and a strong brand world and ethos, the sales, well, they're gonna come naturally. You're not gonna have to pity ask. You're not gonna have to sales pitch it, right? You just need to tell the story and find the people that connect with that identity and that story. Next thing is, this is exactly how we help creators at Limitless MFG scale and grow their brands. Like I said at the start of this video, I've helped dozens, hundreds, if not thousands of different people do this. In fact, Inc. 5000 ranked our company the 6th fastest growing manufacturer in the whole entire United States, and we're the 129th fastest growing privately held company in America as well. So I've seen this done firsthand. I've seen it done right. I've seen it done wrong. I also own my own brand. My co-owners also own their own brands. We do this day in and day out. We don't just design clothes, right? We build systems, and we actually make the brands move using those systems. So if this helped you, go ahead, subscribe, drop a comment, give me a like, check out my other videos. Let's get your first 100 customers together. And I'm here for you, I'm supporting you, and I'm rooting for you. Hope you got something out of this video. Thanks.